It's so noisy, so it's muted.
I'll be a host and moderator for this upcoming panel, and this panel talks about achieving mental health through work-life balance. So I think when it comes to work-life balance, there's a lot of aspects at play. Across the 500 waking hours that we have, we spend close to 200 hours working. On paper, it sounds like there is a certain level of balance, but yet people are complaining about anxiety, stress, and stuff. So how do we actually manage that on the spectrum? How do we have all of these actionable steps and strategies? This is what we will be discussing today. So achieving work-life balance for mental health is working adults like all of us here. If you are a student, good for you. You have some steps ahead to get ready for the working world. By thinking this working world, by being in this panel, we will discuss about practical strategies, insights on how we can create a healthier, sustainable work-life routine. Alright, so with me I have a diverse panel of professionals as well as individuals who are here to share with us about mental health as well as work-life balance. For the first panel, we have a content creator and social media influencer, Ms. Nancy. She's the co-founder of Trail Fitness, a yoga and Pilates instructor, and a wellness advocate. Please join me on the stage over here. So Dawn is a mother of 4. She don't look like it. Okay, mother of 4, and then she is also a business owner, content creator, and she uses the lifestyle as well as her experience to embrace authenticity and courage and to share with everyone. So she uses the platform to promote mindfulness, fitness, as well as mental well-being. So in fact, if you want to join her at the sound bath session later at 5 o'clock, okay, she will be here on stage with us. Right? The next panelist I have is Ms. Sherry. Ms. Sherry is the Chief Corporate Officer of IHH Healthcare. Sherry, anywhere you would like. When I first saw Sherry, I was like, oh, are you sure you're the Chief Corporate Officer? Because you look very young. In fact, all of our panelists today look younger than what their profiles are. So Sherry, you oversee corporate strategy and operations across IHH. Yeah, okay, so she's also a strong advocate and supporter for workplace culture, and she also helps with driving initiatives that prioritizes employee well-being alongside organizational success. So there's a lot of stress in your job. I will ask you some questions on how you manage that. Right? Next panel that I would like to invite on stage is Professor Phua. Professor Phua is an associate professor and also the chief wellness officer at SingHealth. Definitely someone I would like to panel because other than being a respiratory ICU doctor, he leads initiatives to strengthen the well-being and resilience of healthcare workers like some of our volunteers here today, and he is very passionate and committed to fostering supportive work environment and driving system-level changes and strategies that prioritize mental health. Last but not least, I have with me Dr. Joseph Liao. Dr. Joseph is the Senior Consultant Psychiatrist at Promises Healthcare. They have a booth over at the side as well, so if you'd like to find out more about their services, please feel free. Okay, Dr. Joseph has an extensive experience in treating a wide range of mental health conditions. He is also passionate about supporting working adults in managing stress, burnouts, and other challenges of modern life. So he's also an advocate for holistic approaches that integrates medical and psychological as well as lifestyle strategies to promote well-being. Now, if you look at this whole panel, we do have a diverse perspective from all of them. I would like to start with this question because when we look at the board at the back, when I was approached by Benjamin and Emily, the organizers of this event, to host this panel, and they told me the title. They said the title is Achieving Work-Life Balance for Mental Health. My very first question back to them was, what is work-life balance? Is there actually balance? Any one of you out there on the floor, if you think that you have work-life balance, please raise your hand. We have 3 hands who have work-life balance. Good. Your bosses are not here, I hope. Okay? So out of many of you, I think we have easily 70 of us here on the scenes, three of us have work-life balance, and that is a good thing. I'm happy for all of you guys. But my first question to the panel will then be, how would you define work-life balance? Maybe I'll start with you.
Hi, thanks for the question. Actually, I don't really like the word balance. I prefer the word harmony because when you think of balance, you think of a seesaw. And there's always one side and the other side. And when we talk about balance, we always worry that we'll fall off one side or the other. It's very difficult for us to balance both. But I guess if we think of work life as a harmony, it may make us feel less guilty, less stressful. And I think to me, one of the things to be very aware of as an individual is that I think in life we have different seasons, different times. At different seasons you need to prioritize different things more. So at certain seasons of time, your family is more important. At certain seasons your work is important, certain seasons your children are important. So I do think that when we talk about harmony, it's important for us to have a long-term view. Thanks.
Thank you. So work-life harmony more than work-life balance. So how do you integrate different seasons, different priorities at different stage of your life? What about Dawn? What does work-life balance look like?
Well, I think one would shudder if you look at my schedule because I don't just work and look after my 4 kids in the household. I actually am very active as well. So apart from teaching, managing my business and household, my husband is actually overseas in Hawaii. So I don't take care of the kids here. So I think just reiterating what Prof said, prioritizing is really a big part of what I do, and I do it quite frequently throughout the year because it's not just the seasons, but sometimes, you know, with the changes with schedules throughout the year, there are things that happen as well. So I might have a run season towards the later part of the year, so I would always change my or work around my schedule. I would prioritize certain things, and that means having to say no to a lot of things as well. So throughout the year, at least 4 times, I would look at my schedule. And I would have to say this is the amount of time that I have. And my assistant will actually sometimes remind me as well, I don't think you can take this on, or I think we should prioritize more on these things right now. So it's not just me alone, an extra set of eyes that helps me with it as well. That Right, but I think it all boils down to the time management. So I do make sure I have time for rest. I make sure I have time for family. I make sure I have time for doing things that I enjoy as well. Because otherwise, that burnout is going to happen.
Alright, so what I'm hearing here is that for Dawn, when it comes to work-life balance, the level of control is important over here. But the key is also to learn when to lose control and to flow. Okay. What about Sherry?
I think I agree with most of it. First start is it's not easy solving and time management. And I think for us to be able to time manage and to be able to see what is at our how do you boil it down to your own self? You know the kind of circumstances that you're in. You know exactly what you need to prioritize, when to learn, and how much time to set that aside. And that will give you that mental balance that you need as an individual, as a corporate player, as a mother, as any individual actually. So when we know what we need, we prioritize it accordingly. I think that's where we get a harmony. And I think what is also very important is you cannot undermine the importance of self-love. You know yourself is very important. And all this actually all accumulates to you know yourself, knowing yourself. You prioritize yourself. As a mother, you can only provide the love for your children. And to bring that actually how to prioritize what is important, how much time to set aside. There are certain things in life you just cannot set aside. You know it's important. So I think it all boils down to self-awareness and self-love.
Alright, that's a very good tip already, guys. We're just at the third answer today. So self-awareness and being aware of what you need to do and what you as a person is driving towards is very important in staying sane in a world that demands your attention from family, from work, from life, and also your own hobbies. What about Professor? What about Dr. Joseph?
I'm a psychiatrist by training, so I think one thing we talk about self-love, I think we use self-care, right? Really caring for yourself. And I think Don was talking about time and it's very important schedule. I also think about what about your energy level? Right? Because we have to really know our energy level and then how you care for yourself. And then I talk about different seasons and different reasons why we're doing the work. So as a young man, you see, I see a lot of young people here, right? None of them raise their hands for work-life balance. But I see some very senior people, they raise their hands. I think they are the bosses. They take care of their own time. But I think with wisdom, as you grow older, you learn how to say no. I think that's important. You really have things scheduled. Right? So self-care is very important. You start with your own needs. Right? So something very simple is tell yourself if you are going to burn out, right, to use a HALT. H-A-L-T, HALT. H for hungry, A for angry, L for lonely, T for tired. Right? It's not wrong to feel hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. But how you deal with it, how you do the self-care is a good thing. And so if you're hungry, eat something. Because nobody will know that you're hungry. Then of course when you're tired, your physical needs need to be taken care of. Really rest and rest well. But when you're angry, you feel angry, what can you do? Right? You can understand, talk to people who you can really talk to. Give yourself space. Rather than scream, shout, or angry. So I mean, work-life balance is like, how do you calibrate your own self? Then finally, loneliness. I don't think anyone here is lonely, you know. God can call you dragon loading, right? Dragon loading, right? And it's a team sport, right? It's not about just looking at your physical needs. We're really working together with the drum, you know, the beat, and then moving. It's also looking after your body and the community. So it's biological, social, sort of model of self-care. And that's how we achieve your life. So for balance or harmony. And I think that's very important.
Wow, we've got really great perspectives as well as actionable steps over here. The first step is of course being aware, and we also heard from Dr. Joseph the HALT, which will be how are you feeling? Are you feeling hungry? Are you feeling angry, lonely, or tired? These are some of the signs that you may be experiencing stress or potential burnouts. Now, after we heard about all these signs and the need to be self-aware, maybe I will ask my first question to Sherry. Based on the workload that you have as the chief corporate officer at IHH, which is pretty heavy in terms of workload, and after you hear about the HALT, what are some of the experiences you had with that, and how do you manage stress at work?
I'm sure I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry and angry at the same time. So when there's no hungry, there's no hunger, there's no anger, there is no tiredness and no energy. Okay, so jokes aside, I'm very fortunate that the work environment that I have are very nice. Always ensuring that I have enough food and shelter. So she's always asking me, and it's not just shutting down. There's actually a lot of things that there's companionship that is real happiness. And there's someone out there trying to care for you. Someone who's asking you a question hungry with sincerity. You know that it is not just wrong. You know that it is beyond a relationship that someone really cares for you. So I think this might be very difficult. Lucky for me, around my work environment, I have a lot of very kind and close colleagues. It gives you the nursing first, caring every time. But of course, we all must work about it. You cannot then expect someone out there to be providing for you before. So that's where we ourselves are aware of our own roles and responsibilities. Know where the self-care is, for example, taking so when you prevent yourself from being angry, someone asks you, have you eaten? When do I get yourself some food? So there's little things that you yourself can actively do that on. And again, back to what you see, when you're tired, just see yourself. You don't have to stop, just
Okay, so responding to being hangry, so now I think we came up with a new word. I think with the both of my panelists here today, the question to prevent mental health issues will be, are you hungry? Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. So these are telltale signs. When we talk about the answers from Sherry earlier on, she has a strong ecosystem and support system at work from the bosses as well as colleagues. How do you then become a better colleague and become a better boss to your surrounding workplace? Dr. Joseph, let's come back to you with that. How do you identify, other than thought, which is what someone experiences themselves, it may not be so obvious to someone looking at it. If you are a colleague, how would you identify whether am I going through stress?
Your question is, you are a colleague, that means whether the colleague
Correct.
is a colleague. So we see, we all working in teams here, right? Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Yes, round of applause, huh? You're all good teams here. So look at each other, right? Are you all eating together? As your people feeding each other, having drinks, you know? Really, because you all have been dragon boating, it's really very hot. So here, literally, you can see everyone's taking a rest now. Right, so now let's talk about office environment and also even the hospital system. Because Papua and myself are doctors, so we work in the hospital systems. Really, the doctors and nurses look after each other. Quite often, a lot of them are also married, right? Because we really work very closely as a team. So one of the things that really, when you look at the work that is done at the center, you look at it, who is capable of doing it? Who here looks like they're tired? They are falling asleep or nodding off. I still remember when I was a police officer, right? Because we do very long hour shifts back then in the 1990s.
Oh, okay.
1990s. I was having a patient at night and I was falling asleep. And the patient was like, doctor, are you okay? Yes, you can see that I'm really fatigued and very tired.
Once you see the lobby, right, see the escalator
My
down.
nurses are very kind. They say, hey, okay, something. I say, kindly prepare a packet of ensure. I haven't had dinner yet. They page me that the child is all pages. All that way, okay, now see this patient, see the patient. I say, oh, can you ensure? I think the ensure that. So I think really it's about reaching out and talking. Look at the people around you. Who are the people who look tired? Who are the people who look angry? Or they are different from their usual self. They're a bit more silent or silent. Right? Usually they're very talkative, they reach out, they're very bubbly, but then they become very silent, more withdrawn. Right? So if you see a colleague that's a bit more withdrawn, more silent, different from the usual baseline, really reach out and ask, how are you? Anything I can help you with? Right? It could be a drink, it could be some food, right? Or it could be just sitting there listening. And I think that will make a difference. Really, being a psychiatrist, we talk about MAD, right? M-A-D, yeah? You can make a difference, right? In the condition. Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work. Remember that.
Teamwork in the office as well as making a difference for your colleagues. So that is in the corporate environment. Now I'm going to swing over to Dawn because you're an entrepreneur, you work most times a lot on your own, and now with your husband based overseas and you have to take care of 4 kids. How do you then get help? How do you then help yourself in this aspect? How do you manage the stress at home and being an entrepreneur?
Well, I used to be somebody who refrained from asking for too much help. That has changed over the years. Now I look at it as resources. I use my resources a lot more. In the earlier years, I actually depended a lot on my parents to help me with the children. Now I actually have to look after them. But I also tap on other resources like my good friends, my childhood friends. They have now become my children's godmothers, godparents. Yeah, so I let them do their job now. Because I do also travel a lot. So I think finding your support, the resources that you can really trust, is very important. And that gives you, it's not just any resource, but the ones that you can trust. So that gives you that peace of mind as well. And you know that things are going to run smoothly. anything goes wrong, they are definitely going to let you know. They're not going to hide anything from you either. So I don't do it alone. I can't. And I think a lot of it also depends on the communication with my children. I do have a very good relationship with them. My oldest is already 19 and she's currently in New Zealand doing her internship. The second one is happy at home as well. She's 17 in JC. The other two are still kind of stuck with me right now. But I don't worry so much about them. I mean, I know I can trust them to do the right thing. If they ever sense danger, they know how to handle it. And they actually let me know, let their father know, and the group chat as well, what should I do with the situation. So we don't worry about them making wrong decisions. If anything, if they can't reach out to us also, they know they can reach out to their parents or their godparents. So I think knowing your resources and people whom you can trust, even in the work environment. So when running my business as well, I choose to work with people that I can really trust. I was talking to some people earlier on today, and they were saying that they're working with a team like an MLM corporation. I think that's kind of how I set my support system as well. I only want to work with people that I can really trust. So when it came down to setting up my business as well, I was running my studio for 7 years. These are actually people who I knew since my childhood. These are people who were students for over 10 years. So then I decided to co-found with them. I wouldn't be working with any strangers in that sense at all. So, you know, that never ruined our relationship, that never hurt our friendship at all. Because deep down, I know how to function. So I think trust really matters a whole lot in order for you to be able to find the right support as well.
Wow, okay, so I think this brings us to a lot of the Asian culture that we have. We often in Chinese, 不要麻烦人家, I don't want to trouble people, and that becomes something that we are blindsided to. In fact, people are out there, they are willing to help. It's just how are you asking them for it, and how do you then give value back and leverage on them. So that is one way to think about it. So check out who are the people across in your support system, and then how do you reach out for help. Now we have gotten through a lot of the personal as well as the group level in terms of managing our mental health. I'd like to swing over to Prof. Paul because he works for Sick Health as a Chief Wellness Officer. So in that position, right, he has a very special role, which is to represent the organization to implement system change for mental wellness in the company, in the organization. Prof, what kind of systems do you have, and how do you bring across mental health awareness to build a stronger workforce in Singapore?
Thanks for the question. Firstly, let's talk about the biggest challenge that we face when it comes to mental health. I think the reality is that we have very high stigma when we talk about mental health. And one of the reasons is the biggest challenge we have is actually ourselves, our own expectations of what we must do, as well as our own expectations that we must be perfect. So I think that once you have that kind of mindset, it's actually very hard for you to ask for help because it seems that asking for help is something that you shouldn't be doing. So I guess the first, most important role for me was to say that actually asking for help is not a weakness. Asking for help requires a lot of courage. And we have to role model this from top down. I think if your leaders do not exhibit any kind of vulnerability, they are not open to listening or talking about their own challenge, it's not possible for the organization to do so. So lowering the stigma is my top priority.
Yes.
if some people at the level of trust is not within
Back to you, when it comes to system level change, after hearing what Sherry has mentioned, is it something that is difficult to implement? Because when we talk about systems change, it is definitely something that is not as easy as saying we're going to change this method of doing things. There are a lot of other things to think of as well.
Yeah, system level change is very difficult because it's not just system level change, but you have an existing culture that is very strong. Sometimes the leader, the top person says that your well-being matters, but then they send emails every time. I think when what you say and what you do is not aligned, it's not only not useful but actually quite harmful. So I think it's very, very important that if we say that well-being is important, mental health is important, it's key for the senior leaders to actually lead by example. Only then will people believe that you are true to what you want to do.
I think the system has changed. So you're talking about stigma. There's self-stigma, which you the self-stigmatize yourself to your mental health condition. Then of course there's the public or social stigma. The system has changed because I am also with the LTC School of Medicine. I'm assistant professor there. For the selection of medical students, we do accept persons who actually identify themselves that they have mental health issues before, mental conditions in their treatment, and doctors are still saying that their condition is stabilized. So now we're looking at the healthcare system itself. We have people who are identified, they may have depression before, they have anxiety before, they have OCD, so on and so forth. But because they have recovered, they have treatment, they are actually settled to become doctor in training. I think that's a very important change. So being in the mental health system for very long, I see that there is a change. Likewise for nursing, we do have people with mental health issues, but we are still trained as nurses.
It sounds like there's a lot of system change at play over here, not just in the organization level, but also on a personal level. Because based on the statistics of 2020, 1 in 7 in Singapore experience mental health issues, but only 25% seek help. And that is a staggering number, right? 75% chooses to just keep it to themselves and thinking that, with just enough grit and resilience, I can fight through this and don't seek out and don't talk to my family and friends. And that may become something that is challenging and harmful for them. So with that, right, the question for maybe Dawn, what kind of tools and strategies do you have to share with them on managing stress, as well as to set boundaries?
I think the first thing is what was already mentioned by Sherry, that is self-awareness, to know that you are actually experiencing stress right now. And for people who are working in any industry, any environment, actually there are tools that are important. Number one is speaking to somebody who you trust, talking to somebody that you trust. They may not have a solution, but just being able to voice out your feelings instead of keeping it inside, I think that's one. And with other tools that I personally have used before as well, it's meditation is a very widely recommended technique, but it does take a long time for people to kind of get good at it and start to feel the benefits. At 5 o'clock, I'm actually going to be sharing a sound off session with everybody, and that is actually one of the most convenient ways I found, and it has helped me a lot as well. So how it works is, number one, using sound. And I'm sure all of you have also experienced listening to the right sounds. Sometimes the right tunes, the right music can put you in the right mood and help you feel a bit more uplifted and happy. And the kind of scratchy noise that you hear on the chalkboard can drive you insane. Sound has a very profound impact on us. So the kind of sounds that it makes on the soundbar are the kinds that are very soothing, and it captures your attention, much so that it's hard for you to think about anything else. The other thing that it does is also using frequencies. So the frequencies that are emitted from the bowls are very specific, and similar to what would help your brain to go into more delta, theta like brainwaves. So in a beta brainwave state, when you're stressed, your mind will not tell your body to recover or to rest. It's just going to be really tense and get ready for fight or to flee. So when we try to bring the brain to calm down, like what we do with meditation, relaxation techniques, sound baths are a very easy way to help your mind calm down so that the brain waves go into more of a theta, delta state that is very relaxing, very soothing. So that is something that you don't have to know what to do, you just have to be in the presence of it. The metal apparatus actually also use vibration that does help to stimulate the water in our bodies. So if you're close enough to the apparatus, it can actually help with a bit of adhesion. Well, I'll demonstrate a little when there's water in the bowl. Most people are actually too far from the metal apparatus to experience that, but it does have that kind of effect. Mostly it's got to do with the frequencies with the bowls. So those are just a few of the techniques that you can use to help you with stress management. But of course, I will also encourage people to do journaling. When you write down your thoughts, if you find that there's nobody else that you can talk to, especially if you're traveling alone, if you're experiencing loneliness, that is still something that you can do, journaling. And when you write down these thoughts, sometimes that self-awareness starts to show up as well. So these are just some of the tools that are available for us.
Wow, thank you. So meditation, sound bath, as well as journaling, because writing helps slow your thoughts down. And when it comes to actions like this, I feel like it will definitely help. I'll swing over to Dr. Joseph here because coming from the medical and the science background, what are some of the actions that some people think that is helping but actually don't, so that we can avoid some of the pitfalls by life?
So you're saying that some of the things that people think that will help, but
Actually don't. It's actually not helping.
so I think one of the biggest things I think will help is supplements and lots of supplements. Okay, if you get a doctor and you take all sorts of supplements, herbal supplements and vitamins, actually there's no scientific basis for that.
So there's no magic pill that makes you ultra happy and
Because I can see a lot of people who go and take GABA, take nurses and all that, then they still end up to the psychiatrist. So it doesn't work because the amino acids, whatever you take, like the supplements, it doesn't pass to the blood-brain barrier. It doesn't work that way. So I think this is very, very specific and scientific. I think I just want to answer a little bit about the stress. I think a lot about stress, but whether it's you stress or whether it's this stress, stress is actually good. If you're not stressed, you just lie down and sleep and just laze around. But you put a little bit of stress out, you want to go out, because you're hungry, right? Go out because you're lonely, right? One day you're always on the internet. So I think that's good. I think the meaning is how do you handle this stress. Okay? So the stress, how to actually handle, a lot of times people go talk to their family, their friends. Some people go to spiritual pastor, the priest, who start of the month. And so they have mental issues. Of course, you can reach out to SMK, no team is here, then you have so we have a counseling helpline, they have masters in counseling.
我们明年哈，我们大概12月1月要开始跟的。对。
Provide listening ear. And of course, if you really find that you have a very disturbed sleep for many, not days, but weeks, you have disturbed thoughts, heart disturbance, irritability, not for hours, not for days, but weeks. I think this is a specialist, a doctor, for some medical help. So I think what happens is I see a lot of people taking a lot of vitamins and also herbal remedies, but still helping. And some actually damage their liver and stuff. So rather than proper medical assessment and treatment.
So the treatment, the excessive use of supplements may not be the best way to treat mental health. In the interest of time, I'm going to have Prof as well as Sherry answer one last question on when it comes to work, because we've accepted in terms of lifestyle, in terms of our own awareness, at work, within 9 to 5, what are some of the key action steps that you can suggest for people to utilize to manage stress?
I think a lot of the work is preventive.
Okay.
So I think that one of the, so maybe I'll talk about just before work and just after work what you need to do. Um, so all of us have a certain amount of emotional reserve or ability for us to cope with stress. I call this the emotional cup. It's like a teacup. One of the things that we need to know is that depending on our work, our family, our friends, sometimes we need to pour out the cup to help other people, and that's quite common in healthcare, that's common in many of the other industries. So you have a finite cup and you need to pour this in the course of your work. It could be that every day at the end of your day, your cup can be quite empty. And if you have no ability to top up your cup before the next day, then your cup will get drier and drier and drier. So I think a critical thing that we need to do is to be aware of how full or how empty our cup is and to top it up before we go to work. How we top it up depends on your individual, and exercise is certainly one of the things that is known to be very effective in quickly topping up your cup. So I think for those of you who are exercise enthusiasts out there, do carry on because you are topping up your emotional cup and mental cup when you're doing exercise. Maybe the last point is at the end of work, when we go back to our families, it's important that we have to have a boundary break so that we don't bring our work to our family life. And one of the techniques that I've been taught is, so imagine when you go back home, there's a lamppost or there's a tree, you're wearing a heavy hat when you're working. Before you step into your door, take out that hat, hang up the tree, retrieve it the next day so that you don't bring your worries into your house. Thanks.
Wow, that's a powerful tip of anchoring in terms of filling up your cup. For me, one of the steps is when I go back home, I see my daughter come running to me, right? My cup immediately fills up. So that may be something that you look at as well. What about Sherry? Any actionables for our guests?
So if I'm very angry and I'm waiting my roasted, you will be very angry. Right? So that boils down to me having that self-realization. I'm getting angry at certain things. And that's when I typically would tell my colleagues around, maybe we can try because I'm breathing inside. So if I'm breathing inside, what's going to come out of my mouth is not going to be very nice. So maybe I don't just use it to talk to me. And for me, perhaps if I just walk around, sweat it out. Yeah, and I sweat it out, I'll feel quite good. And it's pause point, right? My kids are really, yeah, my kids are very cool. My kids are really young. Was a mad house in fact. Imagine the sweat and went to a mad house. So what I found is that very, very well. I went to cafe, right? I was right there. I stood there. I took 5 minutes. And I just tell myself, I'm going to just 5 minutes rest. We're just not going to go. So 5 minutes rest. Very happy and you will exit the stressful time. You come the next day and then you manage your way back home. If it's walking, it's feeling, it's okay.
Wow, okay, so we've got quite a lot of tips from here already. Walking, also breathing exercises on top of meditating from dawn, also sound. We also have the anchoring system where you remember this point is where you stop your work experience before you bring it back home, and then after that we have the sciences and the medical perspectives from Dr. Joseph. I hope we have enough perspectives for you to pick and choose what will work best for you and start applying it. And the key here for everyone is to be aware and to seek help. Do not just keep it to yourself because people are out there willing to help you. You just need to talk about it. So start by talking about it first after gaining this awareness. So I hope you enjoyed this panel sharing by our 4 panelists. If you do, if you pick up something that you really enjoy, please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much, Cora, Dawn, Sherry, as well as Dr. Joseph. I'd like to take a photo with all of them together. And we will proceed with the prize presentation ceremony right after this. Alright, in first place we have Health Dragon. Where are we, Health Dragons? Congratulations to all team. We'll be presenting you the awards and the prizes on stage, and we'll do a group photo for all 3 winners. Right after this, I'll be announcing the winners for the 400 meters DB12 corporate mix. So we'll take a group photo here with Dr. Ben, the organizer of the IHH Singapore Sri Regatta. Thank you to all our healthcare industry. You guys have been amazing. Congratulations on the top 3 wins. Once again, we have IHH Dragons, one NHG Dragons, as well as Health Dragons. Our next category is going to be the 400 meters DB12 corporate mix. So can I kindly invite our teams on stage to get off safely? Alright, so announcing the third place for the 400 meters DB12 corporate mix. With a time of 2 minutes 6 seconds, we have MN Dragons. MND Dragons, where are we? Come join us on stage right here. Dr. Ben is waiting for you. And in second place, KPMG Dragon Boat. Where's KPMG? KPMG came in second place with a time of 2 minutes 4 seconds. And in first spot,
Sorry,
we have ICA.
Where's our water?
2 seconds time ahead with 2 minutes 2 seconds. ICA, come on stage please.
My water! This one how ah? You just leave it ah?
This one don't need, right?
There I check.
You still need,
Ask Jonathan lah. The one yesterday to them.
Don't need lah.
You just leave it there.
It's only for today, ma.
It's only for today, so I put it on
Anything inside, then take away the food lah. Take away the drink, the food.
Alright, once we're done with our photos, we will be proceeding with the D22 Premium Mix for today. Congratulations to all teams for the corporate. Announcing the top 2 winners for the 400 meters 22 crew Premium Mix category.
You can
In
come
third
here.
position, we have SIM, Singapore Institute of Management. Ladies and gentlemen, the cheering is not good enough, guys. Let's do it one more time. SIM! In third place, let's go! That's more like it. And in second place, we have Temasek Polytechnic. PP. For the DB22 category, taking top spot, It's Commander CSN. Where's Commander CSN? The race time for this category is extremely close, 1 minute 47 seconds. This is our final competition for the next afternoon. For the 400 meters minimum relay. We have the British Dragon. Amen. Come on up on stage, delegates.
Gonna be, gonna be.
Second place.
Gonna be, go.
See you next season.
Earlier we're not able to.
下进一个。
嘉俊，还有那个雷还有
And you?
No, myself not
Yeah, yourself.
no another go more for yourself. I think.
Okay, we can give you the hospital, the clinic, or what?
Whoever will need to help out.
拿住没的。Oh, Yali one got one special one, Yali one. But if it goes like that, then everybody grab finger. Go one round and go. Hey, take it. Those things like everybody just spread out, Got space one. So we start from zero, so everybody put down their hand. No, don't need right hand out. So, start from zero, then we just raise, then we just grab, okay? What is the video on?
Boss, I pass to JC
Okay.
tomorrow. Thank you. 他讲我老板。
因为下进那个看数据的好不好？
Only to squeeze in, you just stand like
I also gonna go.
At least got better. At least. 我们可以吃阿巴萨吧。阿巴萨 got a lot of variety to choose.
Yes. Bye guys.